Ready?
Alright, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
So, formally organized athletic participation did not really emerge into the middle of the 19th century. Private schools were the first schools to kind of organize them, and at the beginning it was more student organized and ran than teacher organized or even athletic director organized. The first real organization that came out and wanted to help develop youth sports was in 1851 by the YMCA. They wanted to develop personal growth using athletic participation. The biggest problem they faced, however, was whether or not to keep its Christian values. Although all the participants were not of, Christian or Catholic religion, they wanted to kind of keep those core values. So the big question they were faced with was, how do they do that? And however, in 1937, the Works Progress Administration provided labor and funds to help build fields and playgrounds for schools. These were mainly for skill instruction and league coordination. It basically just gave schools and programs like the YMCA facilities to be able to organize more sporting events and activities. Each league was sought over by local, state, and national governing bodies. This is kind of more towards nowadays. The NFHS, the National Federation of High School Associations, they kind of distribute the rule book. They do some lobbying for school-based sports, and they're in charge of the High School Hall of Fame. But back to that first point, each league is kind of sought over by a local, state, and national governing body. So you have your local high school, then you'll have the athletic director there, then you'll have a program at the state level. So for instance, in Ohio, you have the high school program, and then you have the OHSAA, which is the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and then you'll have the national body that kind of oversees the OHSAA, who's overseeing the local programs. State associations are nonprofit. They also help govern high school athletics, like I just mentioned. They mainly focus on athlete eligibility, running the state championship and state playoff programs, and then I guess the scope of athletics in general. Title IX was big. It kind of changed the landscape of that, but we'll talk about that in a second.
I did like the different inside organizations of the problems of the high school sports. Just the hiring of different athletic trainers, medical staff for to be at practices, to be at every game possible. So if someone gets hurt, then someone's always there to take care of that. The referee, officials, and judges being present because of how vital you have to have referees for games to participate in the sport, so everything is fair. And then there's also the weight issue of high school athletes and how it could affect them in the long run. And so in the article we were reading, talking about high school offensive linemen are getting 300 pounds and how they want to play D1 college football because they are told to stay big and get big. Just how the athletes, how they need to keep track of their weight and not get oversized and too big. Being continued, coaches being evaluated by parents and the school board, how make sure the coaches are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and make sure nothing we've seen in past the Rutgers coach at practice how to take advantage of those players, and no one really wants that at their school, and so they want a good rep with their coaches. And then financial, of having a pay-to-play fee, and how some families can't afford to pay that fee, so a waiver or something to get families and students to play. And then also the money for equipment and transportation and medical costs, because that all costs money. And then the participation opportunities, you want everyone to participate, females and males, so they're trying to get as many sports as possible in different high schools, such as bass fishing or water polo, to get everyone involved.
So some of the issues facing high school and youth sports, like Ross just mentioned, the pay-to-play fee. Schools in general are kind of lacking funding, and with more and more schools not passing, I guess, levies to give their schools more funding, it causes athletes to have to pay money to participate, which kind of leads into high school programs cutting multiple sports. And then in terms of an athlete playing multiple sports, it'd be multiple sports for multiple fees. Some schools even had to cut sports due to lack of general money. Coaches are also being paid less, some even working as volunteers. So I guess it brings up another issue of how do you make sure you get a good coach? You know, because you're not going to pay your coach any money. The likelihood of, you know, your school getting the best coach is slim to none. And then transportation to games is always an issue. With like I said, with less money being funded towards schools, people are going to have to pay for all aspects of athletics.
Title IX, like Josh mentioned, it requires equal athletic opportunity between males and females. You want everyone to participate the same amount. Requires athletic offices to cut sports in order to create opportunities for others. Suburban areas, females are participating more than urban areas because urban areas, like, they want their families to, like, or their daughters to, like, work at home, like, take care of, like, babysit, something like that. And suburban areas, like, the females also play sports, like, they're participating in more sports in urban areas because of that.
So career implications, you know, being a high school athletic director is something I've kind of always wanted to do. So by doing the research for this project, it kind of gives me a background and, I guess, a foresight of what I may have to face in the future.
I also want to become an AD, which has always also been a dream of mine. After I read Chapter 7, I realized that there's different issues involving student athletes and how to resolve those issues. And I think becoming an athletic director would make me realize all the different, like, situations that I can handle.
That's it.